shift it. So just a reminder with these that it's a sine of bx to begin with. So the a value tells us our amplitude, so that's going to be 4 in this case. So again, I'm doing number 4 on the back side of the worksheet. And then the period is 2 pi divided by b. And b in this case happens to be 2/3. So 2 pi divided by 2/3. So what I have to do is multiply by the reciprocal. So that ends up being 3 pi, right? Yeah. So our period is 3 pi, which means it has to start and end by the time we get back to 3 pi. So, however, I'm also going to look at the fact that I have to do some shifting here. I have to shift it. It goes over 3 pi over 4. So that's the horizontal shift. It's going to go to the left. 3 pi over 4. And then there's no vertical shift, so we don't go up or down at all. So probably the biggest, like the toughest part of this one is the units. So what I did is I just estimated what 3/4 looked like, in my opinion. It's up to you guys. Did anyone find a scale that they liked that they wanted to share? Because Jolie, what did you end up using? I know we talked about that. So she called every line 3 pi over 4. Okay, so this actually works out kind of nicely. So she made every line being 3 pi over 4. Now my answer key, I did not do that. That didn't occur to me, but then once she and I were talking about it, it made sense. So basically, so just because I can't write that small, it goes 3 pi over 4. Then I'm going to add another 3 pi over 4 to that, so that's going to go here. Another 3 pi over 4 will be 6 pi over 4, which is really 3 pi over 2. You could call it 6 pi over 4 if you want. The next one would be 9 pi over 4. And the one after that would be 12 pi over 4, which is our 3 pi. So that actually works out pretty nicely by doing the pi over 4s. So this spot is our 3 pi. Now what we need to have happen is we need our graph to start and finish within 3 pi. And when I do these shifts, I draw the original graph and then I'll draw the second one, the shifted graph. So I'll worry about the shift in a second. So I want my graph, now sine starts at 0, 0. It's going to shift, but it's going to start at 0 for 0 for right now. So I'm going to do some dotted lines here. So it starts at 0 and it should end at 0 by the time we get back to 3 pi. The middle should be 0, so if you haven't done, sorry, this is going to be a dotted line. Getting used to that pattern of sine, so 0, 1, 0, negative 1, 0. Now this one's going to go up to 4 and down to negative 4. So that's the way my graph is initially going to look. However, I need to shift that. And I have to shift it it should be right 3 pi over 4, shouldn't it? Wouldn't have anyone yell at me, you guys. Right 3 pi over, oh gosh, dotted lines. Right 3 pi over 4. Because of the fact that we do the opposite sign of what's in the parentheses. So we're going to go to the right 3 pi over 4, and again, since Jolie had chose that as her units, it works very nicely that everything just shifts one value over. And like I said, I did it approximately, like I just did about what 3 over 4 would look like, but it's really up to whatever you're comfortable with there. Now part of tonight's homework, or I think the assignment for tonight's homework, it actually gives you the scales for most of them. And I don't know if that's going to be helpful. You guys can kind of decide. We can kind of make a decision about like the test. If the scale is helpful, like the scales are going to get in our homework tonight, so like what units to use. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. It depends, I think, how great you are with fractions and how close the answers actually go to what we're looking for. So we're going to go to number 6. Again, feel free to do this with us, especially those of you guys who are gone. In number 6, we're doing sine again. So again, knowing it's going to be 0, starting at 0, but so it's going to be 2, 0, negative 2, 0. So just knowing that about my sine graph, that's what it does with that amplitude. Now the period's easy in this one because the period, the b value is 1. So the period's just going to be 2 pi. Now this one I did wrong with my answer key. I fixed it low when I showed it to you guys, or when Tara pointed it out to me. It should be shifting left pi over 6 and then down 1. Again, I'm going to do this part first and then shift it. Now the pi over 6 tells me that I probably want to use either pi over 3 or pi over 6. And again, hopefully some comfort with fractions with this. The fact that I have to get all the way to 2 pi makes me scared to do pi over 6 because that's quite a few, it's probably too much. So I'm going to do pi over 3. So this will be 2 pi over 3. There's pi. Then 2 more spaces, there's 2 pi. So the reason I did this is I know pi over 3 and pi over 6 have a relationship. You know, half of pi over 3 is pi over 6. So I thought that was reasonable to do. So I need to do where my sine starts at 0, ends at 0. In the middle it goes to 0, but then it's going to go up to 2 and down to 2. Now since I chose pi over 3, the halfway point's kind of in between values here. And this isn't like a perfect science where I'm going to like if you guys look at my graphs, you're not going to say like, ooh, you didn't go quite up to that line, or I mean, I'm not going to be that picky about it. It's the main idea of it that can tell you're trying to make a curve. Now, I need to take this green graph and shift it left pi over 6 and down 1. Now again, since I chose pi over 3, pi over 6 is about half of that. So I'm going to go about halfway to the next value and then down a full 1. So I'm going to go halfway over, down 1. Halfway over, down 1. And I kind of use the main points, like those same points we used up there. And hopefully it still looks like a sine curve when I'm done. So with left pi over 6 and then down 1. Questions there? All right, so we still need to know sine and cosine, but we're going to use them to help us graph something else today. So some more stuff, you know, so exciting. If you're like a colored pens person, this is going to be another day for that.
Rudy? I didn't even see that. Used to. Oh, you don't want it. John's the only person to deal with them.
Oh, good egg.
John, you're just going to get egg.
Now look at me, guys. You do nice, so you don't love your job. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. Easy love. Sit down, guys. Roll. 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 You're not. You're done. You're done. You're done. You're done. You're done. Oh, that's not me.
Cherry.
Oh, I'm trying.
Luke.
You guys tickling each other, or what are you doing?
They're in love with each other. That's what they are.
Damn.
Ooh, give me my calculator. Stop taking John's stuff.
This is so bad.
John, yeah. There's like my hand.
Like a side. It's like really bad. It looks like it's all wobbly.
That's cool.
The optical illusion.
How did Kate do last night?
You got to jump up.
Man.
Kind of downhill after that. Right, Luke? because I posted the picture of him getting the tip ball on my Facebook, and of course my mom, like, and Instagram, but my mom was like, did they win the game? You know, so grandma, like, and you know, like, and
no.
I was like, no, they didn't. I said, but wait, Peyton won the tip, and she goes, oh, that's all that matters.
I found it.
Thank you.
How'd that feel?
They look extra pretty because because we've never lived in the country. Yeah, thanks. But like just because there's nothing around it, so you're like when I come from the east, I was like last night coming from the game, I was like, oh, our house is like glowing. It was so I love Christmas decorations. Like outside Christmas. Like my no, I did. I was on the roof. You know, my Instagram. What's your It's like I'm trash. But like I was on the roof and I was like, don't tell my mom I'm on the roof and like you were like, my God, trash.
It's informal. I can't get anything out of it.
Okay. So, right. So if you haven't done so already, if you guys could work through our sign graph here. It's a good date today. We talked about this already in pre-calc. But
It's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
Look at that.
But if you put the actual like
Like the 20.
yeah, if you put the 2021 in, it doesn't work, but it works nicely right now.
What's a palindrome? Words like saying forwards and backwards like Hannah. Oh.
Taco cat, possibly. I was telling first hour that I like it when my odometer has like palindromes too, like nice numbers, and I'm driving, I'm like I get distracted.
Every single time my mom's cleaning has a palindrome, she always says, you know.
That's the math teacher,
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
So.
So like, what's the one that always
Race car or taco cat.
Oh, or like firefly.
No.
It's not a fire truck.
You got wow, you got mom.
That was so great. It just you're so like I mean that's a total me move. I could see myself doing that too. So that's why like I feel yeah. Okay. So
He gets his K's and his F's mixed up.
I never even read that.
Fire truck.
that's worth like writing down.
K's and his F's. Fire truck. Fire truck. Like what? Fire truck.
It feels like you think you're having a heart attack.
If you flip it, it was
Oh, like chest pain. Oh.
yeah. He gets his K's and his F's mixed up. He tells the N say, what's an F? It still wouldn't spell the same thing. What? You're just dumb.
Whoa!
You don't get it. It's simple math.
Yeah, it's simple.
Okay.
Come on, show up to the boys.
All right. So guys, knowing the amplitude and the period is going to be important here. You need to do a shift. This is going to move to the left, pi over 2, and then down 1. But again, I like drawing my original sign graph first and then shifting it. If you can do them both at once, that's fine. I probably could most times. A lot of times I probably make more mistakes that way. So I like, kind of just being careful about it. Now for this one, what should our units be? What do you guys want to do? Pi over 4, probably. So because then pi over 2 is here. Well, this is pi. So then 2 pi would be over here. Okay, so I'm going to go up to 3. Again, sine starts at 0, ends at 0, middle is 0, go up to 3, down to 3. But then I need to shift it. So I need to take this and go left pi over 2 and down 1. Now, since we chose, we're actually going to shift it 2 spaces to the left, right? Because it's pi over 2. And then down 1. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, down 1. 1, 2, down 1.
I'm not very good at drawing curves, so you're gonna like draw for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just you. Yeah, but
Yeah, you're
yeah.
actually gonna get like all your points off.
No.
You're not gonna be.
I was just saying, trying to make it look like a curve. Oh, that's supposed to be a solid line.
That's so sad. It doesn't look bad.
It looks like a worm.
All right.
To make it down.
Are we okay?
Darn it.
Oh,
Like I do.
What? Okay.
I did that wrong. Oh, I so did.
Yes, I do.